Good afternoon from Hong Kong. This is Michael Virardi, and it's our 149th live streaming episode. And I'm so happy today to feature the Senior Group Project Manager for Henley Partners, Mr. Mathias Dockner. Welcome, Mathias.
Thank you, Michael.
Mathias has a background in professional basketball and strategy consulting, which shaped his passion for training, corporate culture, and communication. At Henley Partners, Mathias has been in charge of learning and development since March 2017. We will be talking with Mathias about what it's like to work at Henley Partners and what are his responsibilities as part of the corporate development team. We will also focus on his experience working in one of the biggest management consulting firms, the Boston Consulting Group. And with this, welcome to the Ask Virardi show.
Thank you very much, Michael. It's a pleasure to be here.
Happy to be live streaming from Hong Kong.
Absolutely.
What made you move from the Boston Consulting Group, one of the biggest and most well-known consulting firms in the world, to Henley Partners?
The answer is very simple. So it was great working for BCG and a very great personal honor and especially a professional honor. But after 6 years of strategy consulting, I felt it was time to really pursue my passion in learning and development and with this particular focus on training.
So you went for your passion.
Absolutely.
Excellent. What was the biggest hurdle in terms of learning and what's the biggest hurdle in terms of learning and development?
It's very simple. So Henley Partners is a very global operation. We have more than 28 offices across the globe in 20 different cultures or in 20 different countries, which means we have an unbelievable amount of cultures and different customs under one roof. And the challenge is to really keep it engaging, but to be respectable or respective of various cultural differences and make sure that everybody stays engaged with the program.
Yeah, yesterday at our training, I believe we had 22 different cultures, nationalities,
exactly,
and 63 different people, huh?
Exactly.
Human beings.
And we still managed to keep it interesting for everybody.
We did a good job together. What do you enjoy more in the work that you do today at Henley Partners?
For me, it's very simple. It's the fact that I get to pursue my passion. I remember not too long ago, I was sitting with another trainer, a close friend of mine. I was sitting in Vienna on a Tuesday afternoon, and we were discussing how to conceptualize the next training. And I kept thinking to myself, this is actually what I do for work. This is something that I used to do in my free time, and now I get paid to do this.
Unbelievable. So you get paid to do your dream, huh? To run your dream. Tell us about what it's like to play professional basketball, since you were a professional basketball player for the national team of Austria, and what is your favorite part about it?
It's very simple. For me, it was always the camaraderie, the friendship. When I moved from Austria to Canada to play at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, I didn't know anybody. I was new to the country. I didn't have any friends or family there, but I practiced with the team every single day, and there's an instant connection. And because you spend so much time with these people, you really become an instant part of a new family.
True, very true, because I used to play basketball as well.
Exactly.
And I feel your sentiments. Are there any similarities between basketball and the business world?
I think there are an extensive number of similarities, but I would like to focus on three main ones. The first one is very simple. On a basketball team, you actually have to go through all of the stages of a team. So nobody's born a superstar. You have to put in the consistent hard work in order to progress to the next level.
Mathias, you have to speak a bit louder. They just sent us a message. They want you to speak a bit louder.
Absolutely no problem. Okay.
Yes.
Then I think, no, thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes.
I think the second thing that's important is you're given responsibility at a very early age. Now, as they say, with great power comes great responsibility, and you have to make sure that you fulfill your responsibilities in order to continuously be entrusted.
So consistent and hard work, given responsibility.
Exactly, and the third part, and I think the most important similarity to businesses, losing is part of the game of basketball. And I was actually part of a team 1 year that out of 36 games in the season, we lost 32. Now you can imagine how unbelievably difficult it is going to practice on Monday after you have lost once again on Sunday. But at the same time, only if you do this, only if you try and try and try again, will you put yourself in a position to eventually succeed.
Were you on the bench or were you playing the team of that losing team, if I may ask?
At that part, or at that particular time, I was a very vital part of the team. But I think that's also an important part. We came to a realization, because you try all these different things when you're losing on a regular basis. You try to implement different strategies, and everybody tries to do it themselves. The only thing that actually works is if you come together as a team, then you put yourself in a position to succeed.
And since you talk about team, about basketball, let me ask you, what traits does a good manager need to have in order to succeed and at the same time build a good team spirit, or a winning team for that matter, so we don't lose 32 out of the 36 games?
Exactly. For me, it's very simple. For me personally, it's empathy. A good manager needs to be empathetic to his employees. He needs to be able to feel with their emotions, or he needs to be able to address their emotions. But I have a very close friend who's actually a professor of leadership at the University College of London, and he told me when you assess your leader, you have to ask yourself two important questions. One, do you think that this person is actually qualified for the job? Do you think that he has the capabilities, the professional capabilities to perform this job? And the other thing you need to ask yourself is, does this person, this leader, have my interests at heart?
Excellent. I love this. I love it. And since the professor is from UCL, I will be there next week lecturing at UCL, so I'm very happy to hear that. Later on, you give me his name. Fanos Costas, good afternoon from Hong Kong. We should play basketball together in Hong Kong, Mathias. Fanos is in Hong Kong. He says good afternoon.
I have some time tonight if you want.
Yes, his height is 205 from what I understand. Are you sure, Fanos? I need to see if you're capable enough to compare with this guy. I stand next to him and I feel like a midget. Memnia Theodorou says hello from Larnaca too. Hello, Memnia. Maria Constantinidou says hello, guys. Maria is my personal assistant.
Hi, Maria.
And Panfuli says greetings from sunny Cyprus, guys. Greeting from sunny Hong Kong, or cloudy Hong Kong.
I think one of the things I remember from your speech yesterday, as you opened for 200 people at the GRCC conference, Cyprus actually has 340 days of sun out of the year, so out of 365.
Yes, I didn't count them all, but it's somewhere there. So, Mathias, tell us about a person, perhaps a mentor, that has positively influenced your personal or professional life.
I think the most important mentor in my life was my father. My late father, I should say.
I'm sorry about that.
Thank you. He really shaped the person that I am, or shaped me into the person that I am today. But more importantly, I think in order to develop as a person, you need to first figure out what kind of person do I want to be, what's important in my life, and then you need to assess what are the traits that make up this person. And rather than focusing on one single mentor, one single person, you look for these various traits in different people. So, for example, I have a very close friend who's a father and a husband, and he has 3 children. So when it comes to the aspirations of creating a family, then I look to him for guidance. Or when it comes to professional aspirations, I would like to go into the area of training or into learning and development. And I could pick somebody as yourself as a mentor in that area.
I'm honored.
Because I saw yesterday how well you perform in front of a crowd and how you are able to engage an entire room. So I think, to sum it up, it's very hard to go your own way if you're following in someone's footsteps. So if you want to go your own way, figure out what kind of person you want to be, and then model yourself after the various traits of various people.
I think that was one of the best answers we received up to now about mentors. I always ask about one mentor. I believe you are one of the few who talked about many mentors and didn't name a lot. You only named one. What are your future and professional and personal plans, Mathias?
I'd like to start with personal. I recently started my own little family. I got married last summer, and I think the next step to take might actually growing that family.
Marrying another woman, you mean, or having a child?
Oh, no.
Ah, okay.
definitely children, no.
I hope your wife is not watching live now, huh?
No, I actually hope she is, so she can follow that aspiration.
Yes, that's good. That's your personal plans. Any
That's
professional
my personal
plans?
Exactly. In the professional area, I can basically split it up into two parts. One of them is sort of more the applied aspiration of continuing down the road of learning and development and coaching and training, basically staff and employee development. That's the applied part. On the other side, there's a more academic aspiration. I'm very passionate about behavioral economics, and that's something where I can really see myself maybe continuing down an educational road in the sense of maybe writing a dissertation or doing some form of additional education.
Unbelievable. Well done. I like your plans. You know exactly what you want. And Marius Siga from Limassol says hello from Limassol. Hello, Marius from Romania. Hello from Limassol, but he's now in Limassol. What is the biggest lesson you learned in your life that has served you well, Mathias?
The biggest lesson I've learned, I think I have to go back to basketball, and I have to reference the greatest player of all time, Michael Jordan. He said he missed over 20,000 shots in his career, but the only shots he regretted were the ones that he didn't take. So I think try again, even if you fail, because then you put yourself in a position to succeed.
I have a statement to make and a question as well. The question is, we said we're going to keep it short, but there are some questions coming in, so I need to ask them.
Okay.
And the statement is, Mathias, I forgot to mention about the prize we're giving out for the winner. Mm-hmm. Is that mentoring with your time, Skype call, or is there something else?
So there are two things that I would like to offer. One of them is a mentoring or a training session around public speaking and communication skills that I would like to offer myself. The other thing is, my uncle actually is one of the 5 biggest wine farmers in Austria. So if anybody finds themselves in Austria, I would like to invite them to a dinner and a tour of the winery.
Okay, and for one winner, can you send a bottle of his lovely wine directly to them?
Absolutely, excellent idea.
If you share this episode, or if you mention someone worth watching this episode, you might win one exquisite wine that Mathias has brought with him here in Hong Kong. We tried it, it's fantastic. Or a chance to get mentoring from Mathias on public speaking and presentation skills. And I saw him live yesterday, he's very, very good. Basalis Bambis says hi from Nicosia. Lucio Savas says, Michael, you are the best. Or Basti says, but I think it's best he means. Fanos Costas, this is a question, Mathias. Was it difficult for you to adapt to the Hong Kong Chinese culture? How long did it take you to adapt, and what are the benefits of working in a multicultural environment? I have to explain that Mathias does not work in Hong Kong, but he came because of Henley's and Partners' purposes to Hong Kong. He is in charge together with his team for learning and development. But you can answer about the multicultural environment.
Yes, we're actually here in Hong Kong for the Global Residence and Citizenship Conference that Henley Partners host every year. And we're only here for 4 days, but I have to say that the people here are unbelievably friendly, and they make it so easy to adapt to a culture because they welcome you with open arms and they are at your disposal 24/7.
Mathias, I will read a great comment coming in from Panfuli. Mathias, I believe you are the most authentic guest that Michael has ever had to date. So very well done.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
And Pan says it as it is. He never minces his words.
Okay, you know him.
So last question, last statement, because we need to get to the airport.
Okay.
A final message for all the Michael Virardi fans and friends who are watching this episode live or who will watch it recorded later on. Final message.
So I recently came across a quote by Henry Ford who said, "Those who think they can't and those who think they can are both right." So the last thing I would like to leave you with is positive thoughts create positive actions.
Excellent, Mathias. Let me wrap this up. It was a pleasure and an honor having you here.
Absolutely. Thank you, Michael.
Mathias has been on the losing stream of national basketball team, Austria. They lost 32 games out of 36. But in life, this young man is a winner in my books. He has been very authentic, as Panfuli has said. He told us about being consistent and putting the hard work in, because it's a vital ingredient of a team. Together, everyone achieves more. He believes in teamwork. Given responsibility, you can perform, and given a responsibility, you can show your true colors. He also told us when you lose, don't lose the lesson. He lost many times as an athlete, perhaps as a businessman as well, but he has learned his lessons. He talked about empathy, how important it is to have empathy, and he said that his dad was one of his mentors, but the other mentors come along the way, across his path, depending on what his needs are, and he looks for role models to follow. He also told us that whether you think you can or whether you think you cannot, you're probably right. And I think Mathias Dockner and Henley Partners think they can here in Hong Kong. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
It was a pleasure and an honor having you here. Thank you very much, dear friends and fans. And we'll be back next Monday with another very interesting Ask Virardi episode. Thank you.
Thank you.